I have wanted to film this video for weeks, and I'm finally getting around to doing it. Hello everybody, my name is Danny and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to the pop punk book tag. This was created by the bumbling blogger. I will link her video down below. This is her original tag that she created just a few months ago, and I knew when I first saw it that I had to do it. I absolutely love pop punk. It's one of my favorite genres of music, although I do listen to quite a diverse range of genres. Pop punk is one of my favorites, and obviously I love talking about books. That's a lot of what I do on this channel, so I knew I had to do this tag, and so I'm doing it. Basically, this tag is 10 questions where the questions are pop punk songs, and then there's like a lyric or theme attached to that song, which then gives you a prompt to talk about a book. So without further ado, let's just get into it. So the first question is Fat Lip by Sum 41, which is a book you don't want to waste your time on, or a book you DNF'd. I have DNF'd 2 books this year. The first one was Warrior Cats, whatever the name of the first book is. I think it's called Into the Wild. I started reading that in January as part of the Nostalgia Train book club, and I got a little bit into it, and then I had to stop because I just could not deal with the very graphic descriptions of things in that book. I just couldn't put myself through that. The other book that I've DNF'd was Piranesi, which I actually just decided to DNF yesterday. So yeah, very, very fresh in my mind. I don't want to be mean about this because I know this is a very popular book that so many people love, but oh my god, I hated it. I could not get into it. It was so boring. There was nothing going on, and I got like a quarter of the way into it, and this is a short book. This is less than 300 pages. I think it's less than 250 pages. I couldn't force myself to read it. I just hated it so much. I was not enjoying myself, and I was not going to put myself through that, so I gave up and DNF'd it. I did not want to waste my time on it. Next up is Monsters by All Time Low, which is a book that will ruin your life, aka a book that destroyed you, and I'm gonna go with Jujutsu Kaisen. This is one of my favorite manga series of all time. It's so good, it's so fun and upbeat, there's a lot of cool action fight scenes, but every now and then it'll slow down and give you little character moments and like really give you details on them, and those moments always destroy me. The flashback arc especially hit me so hard. I literally could not stop crying reading it because it's just so emotionally impactful. And then in the most recent volume, volume 15, there was like a little moment with Miwa, and it literally only lasted like 3, maybe 4 pages, but oh my god, did it hit me so hard. It destroyed me, so I think I couldn't go with anything other than this for this question. The third question is Secrets by State Champ, and the lyric from it is, "You'll never really know what this means to me," and basically it's just to pick a book that you love so much you can't really put it into words, and for that I'm going to go with a book that I've talked about a lot on this channel, but not very much recently. That is The Bone Houses by Emily Lloyd Jones. I read this back in September and instantly fell in love with it. It was very much a favorite from the first moment I started reading, and I talked about it in pretty much every video from like September to like December. Like I could not shut up about it, and I haven't moved on from loving it, but I've moved on from talking about it in every video, so it's been a little bit, but I'm bringing it back. I'm obsessed with this book. It's so good. If you take anything away from this channel, it's that you should read this book. Next up is A Part of Me by Neck Deep, and that is to pick a book that will always be a part of you, and I'm going with the Ranger's Apprentice series. This is book 2, The Burning Bridge. I'm not holding up book 1 because I don't have the dust jacket for it, and so it would just be a plain book, but I want to show off the cover, and also I think this one might be my favorite in the series. I don't know. It's kind of hard to pick a favorite in the series because I love them so much, and there's also so many of them, but yeah, this book will always have a very special place in my heart. I read the first one when I was in 7th grade, so like 2010. Wow, that was a while ago. That's weird to think about. But I loved it from the first moment I started reading it. I actually had to borrow it from my brother because I didn't have another book to read in school and I needed a book to read during my downtime. And it just means so much to me. It's such like a cozy series to me, and reading it kind of feels like coming home because of all the memories that I have attached to it. Next up is Minority by Green Day, and this is either an unpopular bookish opinion or a book or author that everyone else loves and you don't. And honestly, my choice for this is probably not surprising because I feel like this author is someone you either love or you hate, and that is Sarah J. Maas. I am not a fan at all. I have read A Court of Thorns and Roses. I read it when it first came out, and it was one of the worst books that I've ever read. I forced myself to finish it because I was in this weird stage in my life where I wasn't allowing myself to DNF books, and I'm never reading another one of her books again. It was just not a good time for me, and if you like her books, that's fine, that's good for you. I'm glad you do, but I could not. I could never do that to myself again. Then we come to All I Want by A Day to Remember, which is a book on your wish list, and every time I go to the bookstore, the books that are most tempting for me to break my book buying budget are the volumes of Vinland Saga. I own the first 5, and there are 12 currently out. I am obsessed with this series. It's so good. It had me hooked from the first page, which let me see if I can pull it open for you. First of all, these end pages, gorgeous. Just what the heck, so beautiful. But like it opens up with this like siege, and there's one scene in particular I'm having trouble finding, but it's very early on, where it's just a zoomed out picture of this whole area that's being sieged, and it's stunning, the detail that it has. I love the series so much and I want to keep reading it, but like they're expensive. These volumes, they're $20 each, which like they're worth it. This is like a very big hardcover. It's worth $20, but I can't just drop $20 every time I go to the bookstore. I go to the bookstore way too often for that. So like I'm gonna get them. I'm going to get them, just not immediately because I'm broke. Number 7 is Misery Business by Paramore, and this is a book you never meant to brag about, or the most beautiful book that you own. And that is easily The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. Now, I own a lot of beautiful books, but there's just something about this like rich green and the gold and silver foiling on the cover that's just absolutely gorgeous. I'm obsessed with it. I love how it's like a bunch of little details that pertain to the story, and you have this like hourglass shape. This book is gorgeous, and I'm obsessed with the cover. Then we have Thanks for the Memories by Fallout Boy, which is a reason that you're looking forward to the future or an anticipated release. And I'm kind of cheating on this one because this book released yesterday as of the day that I'm filming this, and that is Removable Echo by Anne Sophie. I will link her channel and all the links for her book down below. This is a sci-fi dystopian book, the first in a trilogy. I cannot wait to get my hands on it. I ordered it as soon as it went live, and I'm expecting my copy to come on Monday, and you bet I am picking that up as soon as I can. Obviously, if I'm in the middle of reading a different book when it actually comes in the mail, then I'm going to finish that book first because I'm not a monster. I don't start a million books and put them down and never touch them again, but I'm reading this as soon as I can. Number 9 is Stupid for You by Waterparks, and this is a book or series that you are stupid for or obsessed with, and I'm going to reuse Jujutsu Kaisen for this. Like I mentioned, this is one of my favorite manga series of all time, and I eagerly wait for the release of each volume. They come out every other month, which I wish they came out more often, but then I would get to the end of it too soon. It's still ongoing, but obviously they're gonna run out of material to put in the volumes if it's released too soon, and then you have to wait for the chapters to come out. It's a whole thing. I think every other month is a good release schedule for volumes. Definitely better than Vinland Saga, which seems to come out once a year. We're not gonna get into that though. I love this series so much, and I eagerly await every new release with it. And finally, the last question is Addicted by Simple Plan, and that is a trope that you are addicted to. And for this, I'm going to go with something that's kind of a trope, but kind of not really. Basically, just any story that explores sibling dynamics. I love that so much. It's something I write about a lot in my own stories. It's something I love when I read about. It's just my favorite kind of relationship in any kind of story is one between two siblings. I can't get enough of it. And so this has been the pop punk book tag. I'm not going to tag anyone in this because I don't really know if anyone of my friends listen to pop punk. If you do, then I'm tagging you to do this. I'm just not going to name anyone. I love pop punk and I love books, so this was the perfect tag for me to do, and I'm very happy that I did it. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. You can subscribe to my channel for more content, and that way I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.